Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary. It is Friday, January the 11th. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Right off the bat, I want to give a shout out to my man Graham. Met him at the Canucks game during the intermission last night. Really good to have a quick catch up. Graham, thanks for watching these videos very loyally. I appreciate it, and thanks for stopping by to say, or thanks for stopping to say hello last night. It was great to meet you. I hope to see you at future games. Okay, last night's game, 4-3 loss to the Arizona Coyotes. From a standings perspective, this one hurts if you're like me and you're not sure if the Canucks will end up making the playoffs, but you still want to see them win and you still want to see them in the hunt. This was a big game and basically a point loss. That you consider it's almost 3 points lost from a standpoint of they could have had one more and they could have shut out Arizona from getting any points, but it was quite the opposite. Arizona gets the 2, Vancouver gets the 1, Minnesota, Edmonton, and Anaheim. Minnesota and Edmonton also got points last night, so it wasn't great for the Canucks playoff race, but they still have time to turn it around. First game of a 6-game homestand, you wanted them to come out strong, but they came out really flat. And I don't know, I kind of mentioned to you guys that I wasn't too excited about the Star Wars theme, only because I have nothing against Star Wars. I just don't know it. Know a lot about it. My friend Rich, who I brought to the game, he didn't know a lot about it either, but we took pictures in the concourse. You might have seen it on Twitter, on Instagram, and maybe it was the slow intro, because I love live music, but they had an orchestra playing some Star Wars music, which was fine for the intro, but then it didn't really pump up the Canucks. It didn't really pump up the fans. I think anyone who likes Star Wars kind of liked it, but the Canucks kind of came out, for their warm-up, and it wasn't really, motivating or pumping or thriving, whatever it may be. And maybe that led to a very sloppy first period. That was probably the worst first period I've seen live. And, I've been to a lot of games being a season ticket holder, and some games have been awesome. Some periods have been awesome. But last night's first period, was horrible. It was boring. Both teams were bad. They just stayed in the neutral zone. Once they got to the offensive zone, they stayed on the perimeter, so no good scoring chances. And what was crazy, you guys, is the Jumbotron, the shot clock on the Jumbotron was broken for the first period. So it didn't have 0-0 on the shots on goal. It had nothing, like just blank where it should have a number. So as the Canucks went through the period, I couldn't tell if I knew the shot clock was broken, but then I had no sense of whether the Canucks had any shots, and it didn't seem like. And then finally, the crowd erupted when they got a shot on goal with 5 minutes left in the first period. Of course, it didn't show up on the screen because it was broken, but then we started to mentally count, and then at the end of the first period, Al Murdoch, the PA announcer, announced that the shots on goal were Arizona 7, Vancouver 5. So 12 shots total. I think not even one was a good chance. So pretty boring first period. Thankfully, the game picked up for the second period and third period. It got better and better as we went on. And the Canucks, I guess one positive is they showed grit, they showed battle. They came back from 3 deficits, right? 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3. And then they lost it in overtime against the flow of the play, which I'll get to in a second. They outshot the Arizona Coyotes 36-22. So that means that Darcy Kemper had a really good game for Arizona, and Jacob Markstrom's game was so. Very quickly, the goals. Arizona's first goal was started with a giveaway, actually, by Tanev behind his net. Gudbranson gives it to Tanev. He loses the puck behind the net. Then it becomes 3-on-3. So it wasn't even odd man. 3-on-3. Horvat comes down to help, but Arizona puts it past Markstrom. Then Baertschi ties it up. He looks like he's going to get a breakaway, but I don't know if he's at the end of a shift or he's just not that fast. The defenseman caught him, but Baertschi had the wherewithal to go between, stop, pump it through, put it through the defenseman's legs, and then put it past Kemper. Really nice goal. Nice to see Baertschi get excited and on the board with that one. So it's 1-1. Then also still in the second period, there are 4 goals in the second period. So Arizona's second goal, that was the one that we would have liked to have called back. It looked like a kicking motion, but a rebound from Markstrom hits the Arizona guy between 2 Canucks defenders, Pouliot and Stetcher. Puck goes in. They review it for goalie interference. Green was looking for interference or kicked in, whatever. But still the goal stand 2-1 Arizona. Canucks tied up on a great play by Adam Gaudette. It was actually a great sequence by Adam Gaudette. He drew a penalty. The Canucks did not score in the power play, but with that second unit still out there, I think, or right after the power play had expired, Gaudette puts a nice wrister from Hutton from the point, hit a couple people, maybe hit Roussel. I can't remember if Roussel passed or deflected off him, and then Gaudette buries the goal. He got really excited, 2-2 going into the second intermission. Third period, Arizona scores. Their third goal was unfortunate. Gaudette gave the puck over in the neutral zone. I think Goldobin had some poor coverage as well. And then Goodbranson tried to deflect the centering pass away, but deflected right to the Coyotes forward. It becomes 3-2. Then the tying goal for the Canucks is great line by a great shift by the reunited triple B line of Baertschi, Bo, and Brock. They're working hard. Bo was a beast. One thing we really noticed yesterday, especially right in front of us, is he is tough to manage behind the net, beside the net. He controls the puck very well. He's not the biggest guy, everybody's really strong, right? So he's hard to get the puck away from, and he controlled a lot of that shift. The Canucks were buzzing, and then Baertschi buried a shot from a pretty tough angle, actually, but got it in, and with only a few minutes left. So that was really exciting. And Baertschi's second goal of the game, which was great to see. Overtime. We completely dominated. Arizona didn't even touch the puck for the first minute and 7 seconds. And then some really good chances. Besser had a good chance. Horvat had a really good chance. But then I think it was Panic scored the winning goal for Arizona completely against the flow of the play. I haven't seen the replay, actually. I didn't watch it, so I don't know if it hit at their stick or if it was just a poor shot past Markstrom. Beats Markstrom on the blocker side, his far side, and Arizona wins, completely deflating the building, and completely going against the flow of the play. Given the playoff ramifications, I'm one of the guys who, I'm not sure if the Canucks are going to make the playoffs, but I'd love to see them be in the hunt at least, draft pick notwithstanding. But it's tough because instead of us getting 2 points and Arizona getting 0, it went the opposite. Arizona got 2, we got 1. So it's a 3-point swing basically. It could have been 3 points better for us, if you know what I mean. We could have had 2 points instead of 1, and they could have had 0 instead of 2. Add the fact that Edmonton won, that Minnesota won, it wasn't a great day for the playoff race, so to speak. But the Canucks have a chance to make that up with other games. Let's talk about this overtime really quickly. When everyone's healthy, you roll out. Oh, and by the way, of course, the Canucks did all of this without Elias Pettersson, and it really showed. The first period, you could really feel his absence. Second and third period, obviously, he would have helped. He could have been the difference maker. He probably would have been the difference maker, but at least the Canucks played well for the last 2 periods and didn't give up, even though they were down on 3 separate occasions. So then you really notice Pettersson's absence, obviously on the power play at even strength at all times, but especially in overtime, because what Travis Green likes to do, his 3 pairs usually would be Bo and Jake to start off, then Brock and Pettersson would be the second pair, and then the third pair would likely be like a Sutter and a Baertschi or something like that, or whatever it may be. So Bo and Jake, Brock and Pettersson, and then a third pair after that. So sometimes we don't even see because the Canucks finish the games quickly. But with no Pettersson, the 3 forward lines, the combos that Travis Green went with were Horvat and Brock, which I guess makes sense given their chemistry. Then you had Baertschi and Sutter, which I was fine with. And then you had Granlund with Virtanen. So let's talk about these 3 pairings really quickly. You could keep Bo and Jake together because they've, they started overtimes together before. And then your second one then could have been something like Brock and Sutter, if you want to do that, or even Brock and Baertschi, although no one would take draws there. So I'll get to that in a second. So the way Bo and Jake have success, but that's with Pettersson and Besser together. With no Pettersson, they start off with Bo and Brock, which is fine. You put your 2 best players out on the ice, and they dominated that first shift. They had it for a whole minute and 7, I remember, because the first whistle went with 3:53 left. Then the second pairing was Sutter and Baertschi, and I have no problem with that because Sutter, you need a center to take the draws unless you put Bo out there every time and try and change him, but that's very risky, obviously, in overtime. So you have Sutter there, and they actually did well too. They dominated a lot. They carried a lot of the play. You have Sutter with Baertschi. Baertschi was obviously hot. People wanted him to score the hat-trick goal, and Sutter is actually good at entering the zone with the puck. He's a good, smart player. He's not the most skilled guy ever, but he's smart, and he's not really a liability when it comes to overtime, to 3-on-3. So I had no problem with him. Then this third pairing of Virtanen and Granlund. Couldn't really use Virtanen's speed because he never got the puck, because Granlund is no good at overtime. Like, he just... maybe Green wanted him out there as a center or as a fake center to try and take some of the draws, but they were chasing the whole time. And Granlund, he's got no offensive... Yeah, he's okay defensively. He actually broke up a play in front of the Canucks net, which is, I guess, good. But he's got no offensive awareness, no offensive confidence. And Jake needs someone to get him the puck, right? Jake's not going to... Or Jake has to go fish the puck, but he didn't get a chance to do any of that because they're on the defensive the whole time. So what was curious was Goldobin's absence. And I watched Goldobin, and especially my friend Rich, who hasn't been in a game in a while, he was very interested in Goldobin. And we saw some of the skill of Goldobin, especially on one of the power plays where he had 2 or 3 really good chances, some really nice dekes, just couldn't put the puck behind Kemper. And we also saw some of the things that make him frustrating, right? We saw a couple of turnovers and a couple, plays where he didn't play as hard. Whatever it may be, Travis Green simply didn't trust him in overtime. But I'd say, out of all times, overtime is when you should let your offensive guys play. You've already got your point, right? Your point in the standings. Just go for it. Just get Goldobin out there. Change him on the fly after Horvat or Sutter have taken a draw, and get him and Jake out there and just see what they can do. Or keep Jake with Bo and put Goldobin and Brock together. Doesn't matter. Just get him out there because he's great stick handler. We saw that last night. And on 3-on-3, all you got to do is beat one guy, and then you have a really good chance to win the game, right? It's 3-on-3 is all about creating odd man opportunities, and Goldobin has the opportunity to do that. If he has to go on defense, then you just kind of pray that he gets lucky and breaks up a pass or a puck hits a skate. But you're not worried about defense in overtime. You should be playing to win, not playing to lose. So if you want Goldobin, if you want to win the game, Goldobin, he's one of your best six. He's definitely a better option than Granlund for sure. So if it were me, I would have gone Bo and Jake, Goldobin and Brock, and then Sutter and Baertschi was fine with me. So it's just something to think about. Goldobin's going to have to figure out how to earn Travis Green's confidence. And maybe if he had scored actually on one of his chances early in the game, maybe Green would have had him out there. Or maybe something's got to happen to Granlund. I don't want anything bad to happen, but Travis Green obviously loves Granlund's versatility and durability, so to speak. So we'll see. Josh Leivo's going to come back. Ellis Pettersson's hopefully going to come back really soon. And then the Canucks will have not one, but just two roster decisions to make. Maybe it's Gaudette going back down and Granlund. But we'll see. Gaudette had a pretty good game, with that goal. And very noticeable on the ice. Canucks fans, those of you that... I know many of you weren't able to watch the game because Sportsnet was all funky last night, but whether you watched the highlights or listened to the game or had it on a feed that worked, what did you think of last night's game? Star Wars theme notwithstanding, but you can talk about that as well. What did you think? Was the first period as boring as I said it was, or did I give it too much credit? Are you happy with the way the Canucks showed fight? Were you concerned about Markstrom's game? Maybe it's Thatcher Demko on Sunday, which I'll get to in a second. And what do you think of Gaudette's game, Baertschi's game? What do you think of Goldobin not playing in overtime? Leave a comment below. I'd love to read, react, and reply. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Canucks are home against the Florida Panthers on Sunday. And all accounts, all things leading to Thatcher Demko starting that game. So I don't have tickets right now. I sold mine. But I might find a way to get it in there because I would love to see if Demko is playing. Would love to see a matchup between Demko and Luongo if that happens. All right, Canucks fans, thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless. And go Canucks go.